If I'm here and I'm fully rotated, like fully rotated with my lower body, the only thing getting my arms to the top are themselves. You're not seeing a lot of daylight between my legs early, none of this, because of the fact that I'm not letting the right knee straighten out and move back. So only 10% of this turn is happening with the whole body. And then 90% should be halfway and up. Don't shorten your body turn, shorten your arm swing, right? The left shoulder under my chin, past my chin to my right foot was my visual for that. All right, so when we look at Adam Scott in the takeaway, all right, and you look at where he is in the set position, I want you to pay attention again now to how much his legs have moved, how much he's opened up his lower body, okay? See how the right knee stays very flexed? Yep. Very minimal hip action to that point right there, okay? So when we watch, see how almost even before you take the club back,
like a trigger.
It's a trigger. Yeah. And what I notice is, you know, as a result, the hands get deep early. Yeah. And the pressure gets back to that heel quickly. And a lot of times what happens to a golfer there is they're not able to really turn the hands to the top with pocket, shoulder, getting behind them at the same time the hands arrive. But that pocket gets back there, and now the hands start lifting independently of the body. So what you'll get a lot of times is this. You'll get the in and then up look, and everything just starts going this way the rest of the swing, right? Because the hands get above the chest and everything starts moving that way. We'll talk about this more in detail. But what I notice here, right, we're seeing lead arm matching shoulder plane more. We're seeing this one get slightly above, right? Yep. So here's the big thing. That's going to transition a little bit steeper, not far off, but there's that little left path through impact. And you can see that ball descends in that direction right there. There's two reasons as to why your transition would be steep. Number one, okay, because we over-rotated early, the hands lift, the chest leads a little bit, and the hands will get a little bit over, okay? That's one big reason. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about is if you have the over-rotation being one, the lift being two, and then this getting out in front, sequence, right? Yeah. Sequence. That's not the right sequence. What happens is when you have the right sequence and everything gets back to the top together, well, it's much more prone to coming down together. When you have the body already finishes the rotation, it's stalled out for so long, and the arms lift, well, it's hard to hold this back. That's going to want to start going in the other direction, right? So the big thing for you is not only are you going to have to make sure that you understand that this lower body being stable is going to lead to your ability to get your hands more down the line, it's going to lead to the ability also for you to turn your hands to a deeper position. So not only is your sequence going to get better, your hand path is going to get better. Yeah. Those are two things right there that are going to make a big difference in your ability to then bring your hands back down alongside you. So if I'm here and I'm fully rotated, like fully rotated with my lower body, the only thing getting my arms to the top are themselves. Yeah. So that's the player who gets this look where they'll get in here and it'll start moving this way gradually. I had a guy doing that this morning, big time actually, a lot more than we're doing it, where he got in here, everything started going this way. The high feeling is what you feel up here. Yeah. It's not happening here. So I'm actually telling you, hey, be out in front of yourself here. And guess what? Funny enough, you're more out in front of yourself here. It's going to turn deeper back there, which is going to get you more in here. The big thing that we just got to get away from is, yes, the opening the door early, and then the need to lift, and then, you know, we're right on top of it. If we're standing up the right way, okay, and I have my hip joint over my ankle, and I'm tilting forward with my fingertips and shoulders past my toes, and then I flex down, maintaining the hip over the ankle, I'm at a position where I'm about 70%, 30% here. Some would feel 60-40. But the important thing to understand is that pressure halfway back in the swing for these guys is still up here. Yep. Now in our case, setup's good. So we're not sitting back on our heels, so no excuses there, right? We get opening up too quickly, and even though the club and your hands are working the right way, this is just opening the door for them to get a little inside. Yep. So if we can feel that our right knee stays a little more flexed and that our hands and the upper body are starting this turn a little bit more, you know, right. And here's the thing. I don't like, I want to be careful here, and I think this is a good moment for our viewers too. It's really kind of a broken apart swing when you start talking about, hey, just move this and don't move this. Let this move once the hands have passed the right pocket. You know, that might be what it visually looks like happens, but I'll be honest with you, for me, I feel like everything turns as much as I possibly can. It's just that this turns a lot less, and the reason being is because of how I keep my right knee flexed. Okay, so when I set up and I create that hip bump that creates the post and the brace, my right knee gets inside my right foot. I keep that there. Now, not to mention, not only do I keep it there from this angle here, I'm keeping this knee flexed. The only thing straightening it out a little bit is the fact that my pocket's moving back. Yep. But in my mind, I'm not letting this go at all. This angle I have here, watch, didn't really move. So that's what allows my hips not to restrict the hips. People say, hey, restrict your hips, let your upper body go. No. Where you can feel like everything's going is by truly keeping this right knee in one spot. Okay. And the way that I phrase it is turning from the right pocket, turning from the right shoulder, not turning from the right knee. So if you watch me here, I'm still turning, and you guys can see this, I'm still turning these behind me, okay? But from this perspective here, you're not seeing a lot of daylight between my legs early, none of this, because of the fact that I'm not letting the right knee straighten out and move back. So if I'm you and I get over this, yes, I'm incorporating a rehearsal into my swing that feels more upper body, but the reality is you still want to turn this pocket back. I don't want you not to turn this and then tighten your lower back. Yeah. Why is the set go drill going to be a great drill for you? Well, I told you, your hands need to go down that line more with the weight up in the balls of your feet more. Hands down the line longer, I can check that. The weight's right up here in the balls of my feet. Well, then I can turn to the top. I can feel that pressure get back into my right heel simultaneously as my hands and arms arrive, and then right down the line. So for you, down the line longer, you can hold it, should feel the right knee flex and the hands out in front of you. From there, let it go, and then you're right back, where you need to be. 10% of your turn is happening right here. 90% is happening right there. So, only 10% of this turn is happening with the whole body. And then 90% should be halfway and up. Here's the goal here. 10%, 90. Yeah, and those are just coming off fast, too. I mean, like a lot of pop to the golf ball because it's really connected and together, okay? So let's try that. That's what I want to see when you're rehearsing it. Give me very little in the beginning. Just get the arms started. And as I was mentioning earlier, that right knee being flexed. Let's do a good job just trying to feel like that right knee stays in place. The turning is happening more from your right pocket and right shoulder. There it is right there. There it is. Okay. There it is. You feel that? Yeah. So just do it to here though. Do it right to belt high. Go ahead and get in there again. Kind of stop below here. Right knee is going to be real flexed. I feel like it's not even moving. There you go. And now make the big turn. You feel that? Yep. That then opens up the space for you to get the hands back down where they need to be. All right. Thump. Just the less turn early, more turn to the top. Yep. Game changer. I'd be taking rehearsals just feeling 10%. And when I say 10%, 10% turn. Yep. I know my full turn's here, guys. So I'm just like 10% of that, which is a very small amount. 10%. Yep. Not even. Man. Not even, right? I mean, just right there. And then 90%. Exactly. So it's like, let's watch the lower body. Here we go. Ready? 10%. And ready? 90%. It's just, and that's what it feels like. And that's where I feel very connected from the ground up, very powerful. So it just feels like the hands are going to go straight back. The right knee is going to be flexed. Big turn. Oh, how much better is that? That backswing is getting so much better, though. It's just more sequenced. Keep working that down in here on the way down, and it's going to be, going to pop off the face. Hey, I want to tell you, though, backswing-wise. Better? Yep. Yeah. And the cool thing is, what's cool about the backswing now? You can actually feel like when you make the 90% turn, like stretch it out. Like let it really go. Like really get it back. That's another thing. And again, it's like a theme here. It's like the farther I turn, when I'm not properly kind of connected, I feel like if I'm turning more, I'm just getting way too long. Yep. When in reality, that's not. It's funny. We mentioned Dad over here. Dad always reminded me, don't shorten your body turn. Shorten your arm swing, right? Yep. So he always said, hey, the worst thing a golfer could do when they're told to be short, you know, and a lot of juniors do this because they get long and then dad comes in and goes, hey, shorten it up. We're not trying to cut this short. That throws everything out of sequence, and that's why most people, when they cut their turn short, they end up shoving it right.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's just they have no time to catch up. Their arms are still behind their body, even though everything's shorter, because their body hasn't turned, and then it's already opened up, and there you are, you're stuck. So, pacing the arms with the body, making sure the body still makes a complete turn. And that's why, you know, we always had a checkpoint for myself of what that complete turn was. Yeah, visually when you're on, you know, if you have a video, the right shoulder behind my head, the left shoulder was what I could see.
Left shoulder.
So the left shoulder under my chin, past my chin to my right foot was my visual for that. So when I was going through my pre-shot routine, no matter what, and if say that was my routine, this would always be included in whatever I was doing. You know, whether I'm working on my takeaway and going here first, 90% there, whether I'm in here working on my hand path, I'd still get shoulder under and past, and then in there, right? At Porzak Golf, we take a lot of pride in having developed some of the best and most consistent golf swings on the planet. We do this through simplicity. Our Full Swing Masterclass will take you on a step-by-step, easy-to-understand process on how to get your golf swing better than ever. Join the many before you who've utilized our Full Swing Masterclass to take their games to the next level and beyond.